What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video here on the channel. So today is an episode of Versus. Hopefully it's one that you guys enjoy. It's a fairly recent card in Player of the Month, Luis Suarez. I believe he's still out now if you guys want to do him. And we're putting him up against this base icon, Van Basten, the guy I got in the first icon pack. Again, anytime Van Basten comes up, I just want to say I don't condone any of the things he said in real life, but he's just a card, a virtual card in a video game, so I see no problem with using this virtual card. That in no way shows that I agree with anything that he said. But anyway. So as you can see, my record with him is quite good. This is his base version. His stats are actually quite good, but as you can see, if you compare Suarez and Van Basten has 4 more pace, and every other stat is a tick or 2 less. And in some cases, like physical and passing, it's significantly less. So it's really interesting that if you look at the stats, you might guess Suarez would be more expensive. But in fact, Van Basten is because of that icon status. But Suarez gets great links from Barcelona, so he gets the La Liga links. He's strong links to players like Dembele, Messi, De Jong. He even gives a soft link to somebody like Edison Cavani. So he's a pretty versatile card and a pretty good striker. So as far as prices, Suarez was doable for about 120k, and Van Basten, this base icon, is purchasable for about 325k. So it puts Van Basten almost 3 times as expensive. So it's not like we're looking for him to be 3 times as good, but he is going to have to be significantly better to justify that price tag. Now, both of these guys are similar in style, so it was really interesting to see how they performed on the field in comparison to each other. I liked using both of these guys. I thought they were both quality strikers and both got the job done in a weekend league team. Obviously, this is a pretty good team, so like they need to be performing to a higher standard. Otherwise, I'll just move on to somebody else. But yeah, I actually liked using both of these cards. And I was actually really interested to see how things ended up happening as far as the actual statistical analysis went. So without further ado, and without any more of me alluding to it, let's jump into that segment right now. All right, guys, so I believe we are getting face cam with the whatever it's called, Bandicam footage over here, looking at the computer screen. So forgive me for not looking at the camera, but at least you got some sort of face cam thing going on. So you guys should be able to see that Van Basten is the more expensive player at 326k, and Suarez was the less expensive. Interestingly, they both have 3-star skills and 4-star weak foot, which you can get by with a striker with 3-star skills. It's not that big a deal, to be honest. Medium work rate on Van Basten, high medium on Suarez. Obviously, this little bit attacking helps him get in behind. I know he doesn't quite have the pace, but you could kind of utilize that to your to your advantage, since they both have the hunter chemistry style on them. As far as wins and losses, they mirrored each other, and again, don't put too much stock in that because a lot of that can be a result of when I played the games. But Van Basten contributed to 2 wins, 5 losses, where Suarez was 5 wins and 2 losses, so inverses there. Suarez was part of 2 rage quits, which was interesting. But if we look at average ratings, Suarez was as high as a 10 and as low as a 6.5. Now, normally that inconsistency would really bother me, but he had 5 games of a 9.2 or higher, and so that 6.5 and that 7 don't bother me as much as they could otherwise. He did average an 8.7, which is really obviously quite good. Now, Van Basten was more consistent, but never got higher than a 9.3. 9.3 was almost Suarez's like 3rd lowest score. So while he didn't go below 8.1, he never went above 9.3, which gives him a high floor, but also a low ceiling. So ended up giving him a average of 8.5. Now, in terms of goals and assists, Van Basten scored 6 goals total in the 7 games, averaging about 0.85 goals per game, and contributed 4 assists, averaging about 0.57 assists per game. Whereas Suarez was at 5 goals over the 7 games and 7 assists over that time period, giving him, actually, if you add these together, it's 1.71 goals or assists per game. So he's contributing almost 2 goals or assists per game, whereas Van Basten is about 1 1/3 goals and assists per game. So it seemed like Suarez was having a bit more of a contribution in terms of the goal-scoring opportunities. If you look at shots on target, that might be a reason why. He did have 13 out of his 15 shots on target, only 2 shots in the entire 7 games not hitting the goalkeeper or the back of the net. Whereas Van Basten had double that, not hitting the target there. In terms of passes completed, they were both the same with 80%, although Suarez completed slightly more. And then finally, in terms of dribbles, excuse me, Suarez not only had more, but had a slightly better percentage. Now, the percentages are probably a wash other than shots on target. I think that's important. But with more contributions and a slightly higher average rating, again, the consistency does worry me a little bit because I don't want a player that can go out and have a 7. Obviously, I like that he can go out and have a 10, but like I don't want my striker to go missing, which was a little bit of a problem in those couple of games. But still, at almost 1/3 of the price and essentially better stats, if not arguably equal, Suarez has to be the choice here. It seems pretty clear. I hope you guys agree with this analysis. And I would actually recommend doing this player of the month, Suarez. I think he's pretty easy to craft. He should still be out as we're doing this. He gets great lengths. Will he have a better card at some point? Yeah, maybe, but this is a really solid card with fantastic finishing. I'm looking back at his stats now. You guys can't see this, but with a Hunter, he has perfect attack positioning, perfect finishing, perfect shot power, which are like stats that you get on the team of the year. So, excuse me. And that's and then you look at dribbling, 95 reactions and 88 composure is fantastic. Even agility and balance are up over 80, and that does enough for you. His sprint speed does get up to 92 and 85, or sorry, his pace. So acceleration of 92, sprint speed of 85, which is plenty fast enough in my opinion. And then that passing really shown through, averaging an assist per game with 7 assists across those 7 games. So I just think he performed really highly. He has also got the physical to go with it, the strength, the stamina, the aggression. I thought these cards performed similarly, so if you have that Van Basten untradeable, I don't think using him is a bad idea. He also gets links to Team of the Year De Jong or a strong link like that, and has the added advantage of linking to every single player, which can be helpful. But as far as the head-to-head versus battle between these two, I have to go with Luis Suarez. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Growth on the channel has been amazing recently, so hit that subscribe button if you're new, the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Thanks. Bye.